I'm here, but the future's so bright, I forgot how to do everything. I don't know. It's just after 5 on a Thursday, and I know that I'm late. I'm sorry. I started plugging things in today, and I thought, I don't remember how to do this. What buttons do I push? I'm not sure. You can even hear me. So, and besides, the future is so bright, I'm wearing shades. Do you like that song? That was a good song. So frazzled. No, I'm not frazzled. How about you? How's everybody doing today? Hey, Alice. I tell you, Facebook is changing again. I don't know if any of you noticed. I normally write a post when we have new members that come in. Facebook won't let me do that. So it automatically is doing something I have no control over. I don't know why. What's it got against me? Everything's got it against me. I even filmed a Zoom class that I'm going to talk to you about today. And by darn, if Zoom didn't change. Everything was different. It's been a while since I've done it because I've been gone. I've been busy. It's been the holidays. We've all been busy, right? Could not get it to work. Oh well, it's working now. It's working. So Alice, you were the first one that said hi. Do you remember what you have to say? Remember? Here, I'm going to get up. If you can't think of anything to say and you don't want to just say hello, you can say boo. That's what we do around here. We say boo. When we're walking up the stairs and we don't want somebody to run over us, we say boo. And then I proceed to jump because they scared me. That's what boo does. Boo scares you. All right, I can see there's lots of you here, but you need to say something. Hey, Jan, it's cool in Florida. When is it ever cool in Florida? You mean it's down to 75? Our temperature today on the weather guy, the weather app, said 32 degrees, but it feels like 38. Now, usually it says 32 degrees, but it feels like 18. Today it said like 33, I don't know, but it feels like 38. And I says, how can it do that? How can it feel warmer than what it is? And my husband said, because there's a south wind blowing, and it's blowing the warm air. But I thought, well, then why doesn't it say 38? I don't know. Usually it's because the wind is blowing you and making you colder. So how cool is it in Florida, Jan? Hey, Lynn. Mindy, you should have seen my face yesterday. It was not smiling. In fact, as I retired to my bedroom last night with my husband, we were watching TV, and we have lots of snacks in our room because we've got a cupboard full of stuff that we just eat out of. I mean, I don't know if you guys do, but I do. And we've also been working out every day, and so it's starting to feel like you don't want to eat those snacks. But I had such a rough day yesterday, and this is one of the reasons. I'll tell you about that. I had such a rough day yesterday that I thought, calories don't count when you're upset. Calories don't count when you're frustrated, right? They shouldn't, because you're wholly consumed on being frustrated. I went to bed last night and I thought, tomorrow's got to be better. And it was. Today has been great. But yesterday, was not a good day. If only you'd have been here. Mindy, I could have used you yesterday. And Betty from Alabama, under the weather, storm watches and warning. Oh, under weather, storm watches and warnings. Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you were under the weather. Could have been. My husband's been under the weather all day. And Donna, how did you get the new radiance? Donna, did you get it? I have not. I don't think they'll release them to us before summer. So I have not had a chance to play with it. I have the Solars, which I love. I have my Destiny, which I love. And then all my Surgers, which I totally love. So I'm really concentrating on the Surgers right now. And I'm going to tell you more about that. Hi, Carol. So nice to see you. Hello, Dottie from New Mexico. Wow, New Mexico. So Jan said it was 32 this morning and 45 this afternoon in Florida. That is cold for Florida. That is really cold. Wow, no wonder you're saying it's cold. Carol, it's 7 degrees? Where are you, Carol? Oh, and Nancy is in Western Pennsylvania. It's cold. Sue from cold Virginia. Why is everybody cold? I don't want you to be cold. Debbie says, waiting on more snow tomorrow in Illinois. Wow. Mindy said, we had some snow flurries this afternoon in Whispering Pines. That's in Arizona. But I wasn't home to see it. You must be visiting your mom again. Alice says to Sherry, how are you feeling? So there must be a story there. And Larry Dockstader says, it's 35 degrees in Stockbridge, Georgia right now, down to 26 by midnight. That does not make me happy. I'm going to be traveling soon. I'm going to tell you about that. And I want everywhere I travel to be nice and warm. I just want to wear my shorts, right? I'm not going to wear shorts. Hey, Sherry says, hi. That's right. Calories don't count with stress. That's how I feel. Well, I found these new candies in Sam's Club the other day. And I think I had them about a year ago. And I thought, oh, those are so good. But you can't buy the ones that you love because then you eat them. Well, I just barely had one. They are so good. It's a chocolate with some nuts and some caramel. So good. I think they're called Gremlins. Gremlins. If you ever go to Sam's Club and you see these chocolate Gremlins, you got to snatch them up. They are so good. I don't know what kind of nuts in it. I don't remember. But I tell you, it's delightful. Alice says it's 47 and sunny here. She's in Washington. Let's see, I'm coming to Washington, and I'm going to tell you about that in just a minute. And Belinda is in Central Florida. It's cold. That Florida, what's going on there? I tell you. Sherry, you broke she said, no sewing for me lately. Broken pelvis and broken hip. Good grief. No wonder Alice wanted to know how you're feeling. That is, whoa. That is not fun. A broken pelvis and a broken hip. Wow. So this last summer, my hip has been hurting. I find out it's a lot of different things, but it was my hip flexor muscle from when I broke my foot and had surgery on my other. Anyway, I am doing so good right now. So I am sorry you're feeling bad. If you don't have your legs, you don't have anything. It's been crazy. Oh, wow. Broken hip and a broken pelvis. I am so sorry, Sherry. I would love to hear that story. Love to hear what's going on. Oh, that doesn't even sound fun. Is there anything I've missed? I haven't seen not one boo yet. Not one. And Sherry, if calories don't count when you're stressed, I'm going to pray for more stress because I want to eat those chocolates. They are so good. So good. All right, I can still see there's more of you watching. It won't tell me who you are until you say something. So please say something. Boo. Diana, thank you. Betty, thank you. I got my booze. There must be a story there. No, I don't drink. And Donna says, boo. This is the only booze I pull out. Oh, well, Belinda says, boo. Oh, Sherry, I'll have to ask Alice what's going on. I'm really sorry that you're going through that. Oh, and it might be a long recovery if you're going through a broken hip. I am so sorry. I hope it goes smoothly for you. All right, I want to tell you, I have some things to share with you. Okay, and someone said, why doesn't people, when they do these internet things, they just cut to the chase? Well, I'm not going to cut to the chase yet. If you want to go out and come back in, because I got some stories I want to share with you, some funny things. There's some I'm not going to share until later because they're too embarrassing right now. I do embarrassing things. Maybe I will. No, I'm not going to show you today. I was shopping at the holiday time. So this is backing up in December. And I was shopping at this place in Salt Lake, and it is a nice, quaint little place, lots of little stores in it. Not a strip mall, but not a mall, but just a cute little community with just all these cute little places. And they always do a great display every year. And this time they had a Santa Claus display up there, and he has this big long list coming down with names on it. And it says naughty list. Well, he's sitting there looking over the naughty list. And we were walking around through this cute little complex, and this little kid starts crying. And he goes running to his mom and he says, Mommy. And we were listening to the conversation. We thought, why is that little kid crying? He just looks at Santa Claus and starts crying. Well, he says, how did Santa Claus know I was naughty? So his name was on the list. They just had first names, but he saw his name on the list and he was so upset that he was on the naughty list. They need to make it the good list instead, or not put names on it. That upset that little boy a whole lot. Did you like that one? Okay, I hope, Sherry, that cheered you up a little bit. Everybody is saying quick recovery, Sherry. Yep, we all do. I'm going to sneeze. Okay, I'm going to sneeze. Oh, I really am going to sneeze. What's in the air? I want to turn my mic off. Oh, please go away. Okay. Do you want to hear another funny story? Okay, this happened to me just a few weeks ago. And I do Duolingo in the mornings or the afternoons or whenever it happens in the day. I do Duolingo because I would like to learn Spanish. And it's not, I've been doing it for a full year. You would think that I could speak it. I can't. Nobody speaks Spanish with me, so I learn a few words and I can pick out a few words. I have a hard time in conversation because Spanish people really talk fast and I don't pick it up that fast. If they break it down in words, I can usually figure out what they're saying. But I've been working at this for a year. Okay, so I did my Duolingo and then I went downstairs to the kitchen and I was moving around and I thought, what is that I hear? And I could hear music. I thought, what is that? And I could only hear it in certain parts of the house. So in the kitchen, I could hear it, but I went out to the living room. I couldn't hear it. I thought, okay, it's coming from the kitchen. I've got to find this. I went in the office. I could kind of hear it, but it was really strong in the kitchen. And then I started going up the stairs or down the stairs, and I could really hear it. So I go down to the basement and get down to the basement big family area. I couldn't hear it. But I walked over towards the bathroom. It was really loud. And I thought, well, Sophie, our granddaughter, the 16-year-old Sophie, loves to play music really loud in the bathroom while she's showering. I thought, she has left her music on. So I went in there. There was no music, but I could still hear the music, but there's nowhere it was coming out. So I thought, okay, got to figure this out. And I walked back into her bedroom, which is down there not far away. And I could really hear it. And I thought, what is going on? I thought, did they turn their, I can't say the device on because she'll come on. But you know that device that you have that plays music? I thought, have they left that on? Because I can hear it in so many different parts of the house. So I start wandering around looking for where maybe it's coming from. I found it. You're going to like this. It was in my pocket. So my phone, because Duolingo, they make you go to all those advertisements, you know, after you finish your lesson. And I just stuck it in my pocket and went out to do something else. That dang thing was playing right in my pocket the whole time, but really soft. I could barely hear it. Have you ever done that? I couldn't believe that I did that. I couldn't believe it. Yep, it was in my pocket the whole time. Okay, you want to hear another funny one? Oh, maybe I should save that one for another day. No, I'm not going to. All right. This one will blow your socks off. I'm sorry. I'm getting all the funny out of me right now because I can't wait to tell somebody. Okay. Hi, Pat. Oh, and Carla said, I've done that too. Hi, Shelley. I'm glad you're here. And if you're just joining us, say something so I know you're here. It'll pull up your name. Otherwise, I won't know who you are. Okay, this one, I hope that it either mortifies you that this happened to me or you get a little chuckle out of it. Okay, I can't believe I'm telling you this. I haven't told anybody this. Actually, one person I've told this and she just, oh my heck. This really happened to me, all right? I was teaching a class not too long ago, about last week maybe, maybe 2 weeks ago. But I needed to go to the restroom. So I excused myself from the class, and they were all working on their projects, so it was okay. I needed to go to the restroom. Well, the blouse that I had on had an undershirt. You know how they oftentimes are layered like that. Oh, bless me for telling you this. Okay, I should get 100 million followers after this one. So I went into the bathroom, and my shirt was kind of long, and it just kept falling down and getting in my way. I couldn't even adjust my pants or anything. So I pull it up. I pull the undershirt up, the t-shirt underneath. I hope I'm not exposing myself here. And I put it in my teeth like that so I could maneuver what I was doing. And then afterward, I just let it drop, and it fell down. And it wasn't until I got home from the class. I spend all day with them, by the way. It wasn't until I got home that I found out that my t-shirt didn't come down. That my shirt came down, but my t-shirt didn't. And the shirt was kind of a see-through shirt. You could see so much that I thought, okay, I need to bury this thought. I need to pretend like that never happened. But all day long, nobody told me that they could see everything that was going on under there. I was really embarrassed, but I'm not embarrassed now. Does anybody else, do you feel bad for me? Anybody at all? No. You're not even laughing. I've told you 3 funny things, and I don't see a laugh there. Is anybody there? Are you awake? Come on. That's how I felt. I felt really embarrassed. Anyway, so here it brings me to my New Year's resolution. Did you make any? Did anybody make New Year's resolutions? If you did, I want to hear what they are. But here's mine. If I see someone like that, I'm going to tell them. Okay, Donna laughed. Donna, it was the only one that laughed. Were you mortified, or were you just thought, was it funny? Diana said she can relate. And Janie is laughing. Okay, somebody's laughing. Thank you so much for laughing, because I have to laugh about it, or I just, oh my heck, I'd cry. I would cry. No, I wouldn't cry, but I'd be totally. Betty says, doesn't sound like they were very good friends, and not to tell you, and Lisa says, just to know you're going today. You left your microphone on. Oh. Well, laugh. Is my microphone on? Someone should have told me. Exactly right. So leads me to my New Year's resolution. If you're talking to me and you have food in your teeth, or food on your face, or your undershirt is pulled up and didn't fall down with your shirt, I'm going to tell you. Okay? I'm going to make that my resolution. I'm going to make that my lifetime resolution. I am going to tell you. Although I was, oh, Donna, I'm glad it wasn't you too. It did happen. I was in a meeting once where we were sitting in a circle, and there is one fellow, I think I've told you this before, a fellow there that was quite large, and so his clothes were pretty tight, and he kind of sat back. He didn't sit up straight. He kind of sat back, and we sat in that meeting for an hour, and nobody told him his zipper was down. Nobody. I thought about it, and I thought, well, with all these people here, it would embarrass him. I didn't want him to know that. And I thought, well, when he goes out, maybe he won't even realize it until, oh, my zipper must have slid down. So I'm hoping he didn't know it was down the whole time, because everyone still loves him. And I hope that after I taught that class, everyone still loved me and didn't say, oh, did you see that lady? But that's going to be my goal from now on. But I'm not going to embarrass you to do it. So if there's a big crowd, I'm just going to find a way to tell you, okay? My husband, that's what I do to my husband. And I think I need to treat everyone that way. So that's what I'm going to do. Okay, I have talked way too long. And somebody is probably saying, well, I'm leaving this conversation because I don't want to watch that any longer. That was way too long. All right, I do have some news. I want to tell you where I'm going to be the next couple of months, because it's going to interfere with Buddy Chat and with Project on the 10s, but I'm going to still squeeze them in when I can if I'm here. But let me tell you, hi Valerie, it's been a while. Let me tell you where I'm going to be. All right, on January 20th to the 25th, I'm going to be at Road to California. So if you're near Ontario, California, and you come there, I'm going to be there. I hope to see you. And please, if you see me, say, I've got food in my teeth. I don't care what you say. Say boo. It doesn't even matter. On February 7th and 8th, I'm going to be at Stitch in Time in Greencastle, Pennsylvania. All right, and I'm going to actually post the links to their events so you will know. I'm going to be doing an applaud serger event at Stitch in Time in Greencastle on February 7th and 8th. February 14th and 15th, I'm going to be at Be Sewin in Tulsa, Oklahoma. I'm going to do an applaud serger event. So that's a fun thing to do. And I will definitely post these links. On February 27th through March 2nd, I'm going to be at Sew Expo in Puyallup, Washington. And then I have several more dates in April and March that I can't quite tell you about yet because they're still working out the details. But I'm booking clear through March and April. So if you have a store that's close to you that you would like me to come and teach the serger events that I love so much, because I don't have a Radiance yet, will you let me know or let your store know that I would love to come? Because I would love that. I'll even call the store if you tell me who they are. Betty says, I was at a sewing semi with a very well-known sewing teacher. We were on the ground floor and they were on the stage. And one table had a tablecloth, the other did not. And when the teacher sat down, the table that did not have the tablecloth, she spread her legs open to be able to reach the floor pedal and overexposed. Wow. My mother and I both started going, hey, 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 and got her attention. That was very nice of you, Betty, to let her know. Definitely. I am going to be that person. Oh, Carla says, I'll see you at Expo. Yes, you will. And come talk to me, Carla, okay? I'll be sitting at the sergers again. I'll be demoing the Applaud and the Triumph, and I'm so excited because I love those machines. All right. Oh, you guys are just so quiet today. Nobody has anything embarrassing that happens to them, right? Right? It's just me. It's always just me. Yep, it's all about me. Okay, all right. Here is my big news. All right, I kind of showed you, kind of gave you a little preview of something I was sewing the other day on my serger, and look how it turned out. Do you like that? Let me back up. It actually has handles. It is a tote bag. It has a zipper pocket in front. Let me open that up. It has a zipper pocket in front, and you won't be able to see this, but it has a double pocket inside right there. You won't be able to see that because I've used dark fabric, but it's all there. This is a new class on my website. And I'm going to tell you about this because it's already there, ready for you to purchase, ready for you to sew. This is done on the Applaud. Look at that stitching. Look at that stitching. Do you love that plaid? If you have an Applaud and you want to make this, I'm going to tell you about it. I even top stitched my zipper on my Applaud. I made my handle on the Applaud, and I supplemented it with the Triumph with the 4-thread overlock and the sewing machine because I did a top stitch right there. All of this was done in those 3 machines, mostly the Applaud. Do you love that? Do you love that fabric? It's not even fabric. This is an outdoor fabric right here. It's just an outdoor canvas that I bought because I liked it and I thought that would show off my stitches, and it does. I love it. So this tote is called, I've got a dark spot right there. I don't know why. It's called the Plaid Tote. All right? Makes sense? All right, when you go on the website to purchase this class, I'm going to give you a discount code. And that discount code is good until next Wednesday, the 15th. So you've got a few days. So if you haven't got your applaud yet, get the class anyway, because now you're going to have the discount. And then when you get your applaud, you can make it. And the applaud is so fun to use, it's easy to use. You are going to love it. If you already have your applaud, you're going to want to make this. It is so cute, and you're going to learn a lot about it too. If you got to do it, applaud. And the discount code is PLAID, P-L-A-I-D, PLAID. That will give you a discount on the class. And if you're thinking about getting that applaud, don't wait. I tell you, it is such a fun machine to use. So fun, just like all that Baby Lock has. Their machines are so good, and there's not another machine on the market that will do this. There's not another Baby Lock that will do this. This is a top cover stitch machine. Decorative top. So cute. And I have used sparkly thread. You can see how that just sparkles. You can use sparkly thread too. I really had fun making this. So it's up now. Go in and get it. It's yours for the taking, I tell you. All right. Let's see, where am I? Oh, okay, Donna, I will call them. Pocono Sew and Vac. If they're a Baby Lock dealer, that's what's important. Actually, I could come to any store and teach any project that I have, but if you want me to do an applaud, it's got to be a Baby Lock dealer. I will call them and find out. Valerie says, oh, I don't have the applaud. A lot of people do have the applaud, and I'm sorry you don't have one, Valerie. Have they got it offered in the UK yet? Karen, I only have the Triumph. Well, let me tell you what you could do. If you wanted to make this on the Triumph, you could make these stitches with your cover stitch, but you're going to do it on the back side. So if you want to do that, let me give you more instruction on it or tell you how you can do it. You won't have the top cover stitches, but you could turn it over and use the cover stitches on the back. That doesn't make a whole lot of sense, but I can talk to you about that. All right, so if you want to do this, you have the Triumph and you still want to make it and you want to make this plaid, it won't be exactly the same, but I can walk you through how to do it on your Triumph using your cover stitches. Okay, and I would love to do that. Would you like that, Donna? Oh, it's Karen. Would you like that, Karen? Because I can do that. I can show you how to do that. Jackman's Fabrics in St. Louis, says Linda. I'm actually coming to Missouri. I think it's in July. Diana says, I've done that when I hemmed a pair of pants, and it was so cute. Very cute. I am coming to Missouri Sew and Vac in July. So I do have one in Missouri. I tell you, yesterday was the day. Yesterday was the day, and it wasn't even the day that I left my shirt up. It wasn't even the day that I walked around with music in my pocket, okay? It was just a day. Oh, my heck. All right, what I want to show you today, I want to talk about a couple of things. First of all, someone asked me, let's see. They wanted to understand why I would say sewing in the left-hand position on your sewing machine will give you a better stitch, and why when you're sewing fabrics. What they actually asked me was if there was a narrower foot for her chorus so that she could sew bags and not have such a big footprint. Well, let me tell you, that big foot, and I'm going to pull out my J foot. My J foot right here is the foot I would use. When I wanted, if I were sewing bags, this is the foot I'm going to use most all of the time, unless I need a specialty foot for it. And the reason being is that you look on the bottom of that foot, that's how much it's going to engage the feed dogs. That means all of my feed dogs are engaged, and that's what I want, because that's what feeds the fabric through. So she asked what foot she could use, and I'm going to say use this foot, but move your needle all the way to the left, and you'll get a better stitch anyway. Did you know that when you embroider and all is going 100 miles an hour, that needle is going up and down and up and down and up and down? It's always in the left-hand position. You didn't know that because you have your embroidery foot on, but that is where the needle is going down because you won't get skipped stitches in the left-hand needle position. Because when the thread and the needle are coming down, if they even hesitate, even a little bit, by the time they get through that fabric, that bobbin has already gone. So you want to have the optimum bobbin catching moment. You are going to have it go down quickly and catch that bobbin, but when it hesitates, you're going to lose it. So if you have it in the left-hand needle position, that slight hesitation won't affect the stitch. But if you're in the right needle position, as it hesitates, that bobbin's gone and you won't have it. So move your needle to the left, and this will goes with any machine. It's not just the Baby Lock machines. If you have any other brand, that same thing applies. Put your needle in the left-hand needle position as far as it can go, and my left-hand needle position, I keep it all the way over. I keep it over to 0 is where I keep it. So if I want to reset it, have it be a 1/4 inch, I've got to reset my stitch. But when I'm sewing in the left-hand position, it's usually because I'm sewing through something really thick, and I need to have the advantage of having a good needle position to go through that fabric to catch my bobbin. So that's why I do that. All right. Any other questions on that? I don't see any questions. If you have questions, please ask them because I would love to answer. I got some answers today. All right. One thing I want to do today, and this is something I've taken a lot of slack from on Facebook, because you know how I post those things each morning and I have a little tip. Well, I've gotten a lot of crap for this one. Okay. What I'm telling you was correct, but they didn't like the fabric I was using, which is weird, right? The fabric I was using was striped, so they didn't like the fact that I was squaring a block and using striped fabric because that makes my stripes be off. Well, they weren't really off. It's just the camera angle that it had it at. It's not really a true, it's hard to get a true, the angles that we have to go in and the lighting and everything. Things are a little off, right? Color-wise, everything-wise. And I'm sure you'll agree with me on that. But I'm getting a lot of crap over it. So I'm going to refilm that one time. I haven't refilmed it. And I'm going to use plain fabric so that nobody gives me crap. So please listen, understand, because this was something that when I first started quilting, and it's probably been 18, 20 years ago, every time, and the first quilt I made, I didn't square my blocks. I didn't know that you're supposed to square your blocks. So I take it to the quilter to do all her fancy stuff on it, and she called me up and she said, this quilt really has problems. It's not square. And I said, well, just make it square. So she did her best. It wasn't very pretty. I still used it, but I learned. And I learned that you need to square each individual block before you sew them together. And you need to continually keep it square as you sew. That is so important. If you don't do that, you're going to have a ski-wampus quilt. Is that correct? It is. So I want to talk today about squaring your blocks. Okay? And I have a better piece of fabric today that I'm going to use. And this one does not have stripes on it or anything. But let me give you an example of if I were squaring, I would square a little differently, or I would pay closer attention to what my lines were. So if I were squaring this, I would definitely want to keep this and this and this the same width all the way around. But I'm not going to be addressing that right now. That is just something as you're doing it, because you have lines on your ruler that will help you do that. But what we're going to talk about today is simply, how do I get this block down? So I've made all my blocks, and maybe some are 9 1/4. Let's see how big this is. This is a 10 inch. All right, so let's go with a 10. So maybe some of my blocks ended up to be 10 1/4, and some were even 9 7/8. I mean, that can happen depending on how many pieces you're putting together. But say that all my blocks were close to what this is, then what I would want to do is look at my blocks, find the smallest one, because all of the other blocks will have to gear to that one. They will all have to be part of that one. They all have to be the same size. So you can't make your smaller blocks bigger, but you can make your bigger blocks smaller. So if you are finding out that you've made all of these, this is actually part of a 9 patch. So I was doing a disappearing 9 patch. So they all turned out pretty good the same. But I would still check them and I would still square them. So if I had a little piece over here, it looks like this is a little uneven on that edge right there, just barely I can see, then I would definitely just cut that off. Let me get my tools, because I can see right now, and this isn't going in a quilt because this is just leftovers, but if I were going to cut that off, I don't want to just sit and cut, because what if my ruler were at an angle? I want to make sure, for one thing, and I know that the lights are going to be a little glary on this ruler because it's nice and shiny, but I want to make sure that I have a straight line right there on the bottom edge of that fabric or that block. I don't want to have it be at an angle. It's got to be not that way, but it's got to be square. It doesn't matter what number I have down there. And right now I'm not even concerned about over here, although that makes it to be about 8.5, which is about where I wanted it to be. But I want to take that little piece off. So I'm going to take that off. And there I go. This would now be an easy block to piece in with my quilt. And yet right there, it looks like there's a little bit out right there. Let me look at that. I just eyeballed it. So I'm going to put a straight edge right there because I know that that edge is straight. And it looks like there is just a little teeny bit poking out. I'm going to cut that off. And now this block is square. This block is straight, and I can go sew it together with the rest of my fabrics. Okay, rest of my blocks. I'm going to set that one aside. Now right here, and really I had to go back into the fabric store several times because I'd taken a class there and I said, you showed us how to square blocks, but I don't remember how. So she showed me, again, very patient, very kind. Her name was, Karen. All right, so I want to find my smallest block. I want to square them all to that size. So if this were my smallest block, this one will go 10 and, just about 10.25. But what if my pattern says have 10-inch blocks? Let's say 10.5, then I'm going to cut more off. All right, so 10.5 is going to give me something I can cut off every single edge. Because even when you're making blocks, sometimes you'll have a rough edge that you just really don't want to deal with. So if I'm going to go 9.5, excuse me, make sure I can get this where it can all be in the view. If I wanted to go 9.5, now if I were squaring a block that, like this one over here that I had talked about, then my friend would be this line right here. I would want to make sure that that goes through that point and up to that point. So that would make it an even block and that would balance it. This one I don't have to worry about. I'm simply wanting to make it square. So I'm going to put my 1 inchers right up there in the corner. And I want to make sure that my ruler is bigger than my block. See, I have plenty of room to work down here. And if I wanted to square this to 9.5, I need to make sure that 9.5, which is right here, is inside the area. Because I want to cut something off all 4 corners. So it is, there's my 9.5. And I'm not worried right here whether my pattern is straight because I don't have a pattern here. So I'm going to cut right there and cut that off. And I'm afraid I'm going to get in your view when I go for the next one. And this is quite a stretch for me. Normally I would either use my rotating mat or I would have it more in front of me where I could actually cut it nicely. Okay, so now I've cut a straight edge there and there. But down here, because I left the 9.5 inside the fabric, I now need to cut off here and here. But I can't do it with my ruler there, so I'm going to move my ruler, take this point right up here, move it down to the bottom, and I'm going to place my ruler back on. And now I'm going to place this exactly at 9.5 right there, and exactly 9.5 right there. Once I've done that, I can see now that I will be able to cut off this edge and that edge. So now this is going to be exactly 9.5, and I can see that because I can measure it right there. I can see that it exactly fits in that 9.5 space. Is that how you guys do that? Or do you have another way that you do it? This has turned out to be the easiest way for me to square a block. And squaring your blocks is so very important. Otherwise, you got a ski-wampus block, correct? Are there any questions or anything I can... Have you got other ideas that you normally do? I don't know. There might be other ways to do it that I don't know about. But this is just squaring a simple block. And it can be any size. It can be an 8-inch block, a 6-inch block. It really doesn't matter. It can be a 14-inch block as long as you have a ruler that's bigger than 14. Because you can see that you kind of need that marking on your ruler in order to cut it straight. Oh, Linda says, thank you for sharing this information, squaring your blocks. Squaring your blocks is really important if you want to have a nice square quilt. All right, that's all I have to share with you today, is how to square a block. I just really wanted to do this. What do you do when you think your block is 8 inches, but it turns out smaller? If that's the case, then you have to square them all to the smaller size. If that's not possible, you either toss that one block out and create a new block, or you find a creative way to make it interesting and make it a little bit bigger. And sometimes that means putting a border on or an extra piece on it, and that works. That really does work. It really depends on your quilt and what you need it to be. Any other questions? I'm out of gas. I should be after yesterday. No, today's been good. All right, so are you going to sign up for this class? How many takers do I have? I feel like I'm auctioning it off. I really love this. I just found out that I really, really love it. I've made 3 of them now, and I'm going to use all 3. In fact, I'm going to bring them to my trunk show at your store, and you'll be able to see them. All right, any questions? Because I don't see any questions. I don't. Tomorrow is Project on the Tans at 10 o'clock. 10 o'clock Mountain Time. I'll be back here and we'll do Project on the Tans. And it's just a small, easy project. And I won't bore you with my silly stories unless something happens tonight and I have to share something more. You never know. You never know. All right. Okay. Is anything else I can talk to you about? If you want to learn something more, if you'll put it in the comments or send me a message or just ask a question, I would love to address it. I would love to see what I can find out. Maybe I don't know the answer. Maybe I need to learn about it. You never know, right? All right. I am going to sign off because I'm going to come back in the morning. And it's going to be fun. I've already got it figured out. We are going to make something fun, and I think you'll like it. I try to do things where it will teach you something new, and maybe it's not something we normally do, but it's kind of fun to do. Why not? That's what I say. All right, I will see you in the morning at 10 o'clock. Invite all your friends. Let's have a party, okay? And we'll talk more about this. If you have questions on the meantime, please ask them. I'll go through the thread. I will answer all the questions. If you have something, I would love to answer it for you. All right. And I can see more of you here, but you just didn't say anything. You got to talk. You got to talk. You are very welcome, Pat. All right. I'll see you in the morning. Bye-bye.